Manchester United are hiding something awful. In fact, they're hiding 10 really bad things that they hope you never find out about. But as always, I'm here to reveal all those things to you. These are 10 things Manchester United never wanted you to know. We'll start with one of the greatest figures in the club's history, Sir Alex Ferguson. Yes, he was great, no doubt about that. But Man United doesn't want you to know that he was a checkbook manager. That's right, Fergie splashed the cash like it was Monopoly money. He spent enough to make your wallet cry. He made Roy Keane the most expensive transfer in British football history in 1993, made Juan Sebastian Varane the most expensive transfer in the history of English football in 2001, made Rio Ferdinand the most expensive British player in history in 2002, made Cristiano Ronaldo the most expensive teenager in British football history in 2003, made Wayne Rooney the most expensive under-20 player in history in 2004. I could really go on and on, but I'm sure you catch my drift. Sir Alex Ferguson was a checkbook manager, period. So when United fans try to use the amount of money he has spent to downplay Pep Guardiola's achievements at Manchester City, just remind them that their greatest ever manager was not any different. You know what else Man United wanted to keep a secret? The State of Old Trafford. Old Trafford, the theater of dreams? Nah, more like the theater of nightmares for some fans. At Old Trafford, when it rains, it pours. Apparently, the roofs of the stadiums are leaking. So if you're there watching a game while it's raining, just get ready to get drenched. There's usually so much rainwater pouring through the roof in the stands that you think the owners are trying to create their own water park. And hey, don't even take my word for it. The club's legend Cristiano Ronaldo spilled the tea on the club's facilities in a tell-all interview with Piers Morgan in 2022. And Ronaldo didn't just talk about the stadium that we see. He also pointed out that the gym, the pool, and even the kitchen had not improved in the 9 years he was away. Damn. Again, did I hear someone say the theater of dreams? Nah, this is the theater of drips. And sadly, all that water dripping from the roof is not enough to wash away all the scandals that Man United players are always involved in. For years now, Manchester United players have had their names in the tabloids for all the wrong reasons. From Eric Cantona, who kicked a fan on live TV, to Roy Keane, who ruined Haaland's career with a crazy tackle and confessed that it was premeditated. There was also Ryan Giggs, who had an affair with his brother's wife for years, and Cristiano Ronaldo, who had a sexual assault legal battle back in the day. And even in the present day, these things still follow them. Mason Greenwood was arrested in 2022 after his girlfriend accused him of assault, backing them up with some really incriminating images and voice recordings which were exposed on social media. Just after they sent Greenwood out on a loan, United had yet another legal case on their hands, with Anthony getting slapped with allegations of domestic violence by his girlfriend and 2 other women. I'm pretty sure Man United keeps praying that their players just stop getting into trouble, because it's hard keeping all these many scandals under wraps. Speaking of scandals, the club surely doesn't want you to know what Sir Alex Ferguson did to David Beckham back in 2003. They tried to cover it up by calling it a freak accident, but it was a lot more than that. February 2003, after Man United lost an FA Cup game to Arsenal, Fergie was so pissed with his team, but his anger burned hottest for David Beckham. He told the player he was at fault for a goal and was really going hard on him. He probably expected Beckham to stay quiet and take it all, but he didn't. The midfielder talked back, and not only did he talk back, he used the F word. Damn, Ferguson saw red immediately. So what did he do? He walked towards him from across the room where he was standing and kicked a boot in anger. That boot flew up and caught Beckham just above his eye. Man, the boss could really have blinded his own player. Immediately, Beckham found out he was bleeding. He was ready to charge at the gaffer and go full beast mode, but his teammates held him back. The following day, the Englishman showed up with stitches just above his eye, and it got everyone talking. It was this incident that forced Manchester United to sell Beckham in the summer of 2003 because Ferguson could no longer stand the player. The club doesn't want you to know this, just like they don't want you to know that they have a debt of more than 600 million hanging over their heads right now. Of course, the pandemic wasn't good to anybody, but Man United is one of those clubs who had it the worst. United used to be one of the top 3 richest clubs in the world, but in the first quarter of 2023, they published their financials and voila, the club has a debt of $660 million. players. Oh, now it makes a lot of sense why Old Trafford still hasn't been fixed. Now that their secret is out, can Manchester United fans stop laughing at Barcelona? At least Barcelona are in the process of fixing their stadium. Away from the finances and off-the-pitch issues, Man United aren't even good on the pitch, which just makes everything worse. I mean, yeah, we all know results have been bad lately, but this will still blow your mind. Listen to this. Liverpool have beaten United by an aggregate score of 17-2 since 2021. Whoa! There's a never-ending rivalry between Manchester United and Liverpool. There's always a struggle for players, trophies, and all kinds of success between those two. But in recent years, it feels like the Reds have left the Red Devils behind. Since the start of the 2021 through 2022 season, Man United have won just once against Liverpool. And it's not just that Liverpool keep winning, it's how they win. In 2 full seasons, Liverpool have beaten their arch rivals by 17 goals to 2 on aggregates in the Premier League. In just 2 years, we have seen some really embarrassing scorelines in that fixture. 4-0, 5-0, 7-0. Come on, how can we still call that a rivalry? You know what's worse? Liverpool gave Man United a trouncing at Old Trafford, with Salah scoring a hat-trick on their head, meaning United have not managed to win a single game at Anfield since 2016. This is just too damn embarrassing for Man United, and that's why they want to keep it a secret forever. And maybe one reason United can no longer compete is because they're horrible at doing business. While Liverpool spend their money on players like Van Dijk, Alisson, and Salah, United spend big money on players who end up being flops. And they don't want you to know this, but I'll tell you for free. The 6 most expensive signings in Man United's history all flopped. Paul Pogba for 105 million euros, Antony for 95 million euros, Harry Maguire for 87 million euros, Romelu Lukaku for 85 million euros, Jadon Sancho for 85 million euros, and Angel Di Maria for 75.6 million euros. All flops. That's more than $500 million down the drain in the space of 8 years. Isn't that just insane? Now, we have established the fact that Man United are bad at signing players, but there's one piece of business which is easily one of the most embarrassing any club has ever done, and Man United wanted to keep it in the dark forever. The whole Paul Pogba business was crazy embarrassing, guys. So, Pogba joined Man United's academy in 2009 as a 16-year-old. He was super talented, but they failed to make space for him in the first team. But did they sell him? No, they let him join Juventus for free in 2012 when he was 19. Juventus gave him a platform to really shine, and shine he did. He won them league titles and helped them reach the Champions League final in 2015. Man United saw this and immediately wanted him back, so they splashed 105 million euros to bring him back home in 2016. They made him the most expensive player in the world, but they didn't care. He was their boy and they desperately wanted him back. Well, guess what? He spent 6 years back at Manchester United, and sincerely, those weren't good years. And after those 6 years, Manchester United let him join Juventus for free once again. Come on, man. These guys really let their promising academy player leave for free, bought him back for a world record fee 4 years later, only to see him flop and watch him leave for free after 6 years. Horrible business all around. This is why you should never go back to your ex. It hardly ever turns out well. Learn from Man United, guys. And the owners surely have a huge portion of blame in all of this. But if you think that's bad, come and listen to this. The fans wanted them out, but once those fans hear the secret I'm about to expose, they'll want them out even more. The owners of Manchester United, the Glazers, plunged the club's valuation to the lowest ever in just 1 day. How the hell did this happen? Well, here's the tea. The Glazers teased a sale of the club in late 2022, and this caused the club's valuation to rise by 17%. Well, after people from different parts of the world showed interest and even made bids, the Glazers made a U-turn in September 2023 and said they were no longer selling because no bid reached their valuation. After that announcement, the club's share price dropped by a whopping 18% in just 1 day. It's the largest drop in valuation the club has ever experienced in a 24-hour period in their entire history. Now, do you see why the fans want the Glazers out so badly? But this next one is something embarrassing that you cannot blame the Glazers for because it was way before their time. This was back in the 20th century, and this club that likes to claim that they're the biggest in England went 26 whole years without winning the Premier League. I kid you not. They act like they're such a colossal club, but for nearly 3 decades between 1967 and 1993, this club failed to lift the Premier League once. And to make matters worse, during this same time period, they also were not able to win the Champions League. That one went on for even longer, for 31 years. Between 1968 and 1999, Manchester United could not boast of being champions of Europe. That is a quarter of a century without winning any of the two biggest trophies available? Nah, that's very embarrassing. So much for being the biggest club in England, you know. And sadly, it looks like they're currently gunning for that record. Manchester United has now gone 15 years without winning the Champions League and 10 years without the Premier League. Will they go on to break their own unpleasant record? Tell me what you think in the comments.